Welcome in the latest episode of the Betting the Pitch Major League Baseball podcast. It is super late at night, but we're about to head into the weekend. Got one more day to get through in our offices. If you're going to one, hope you're not, but I am. So let's go through Major League Baseball card. Just recorded a German Bundesliga preview for the 2026-2027 season. Went through the entire list of teams. Also the match day one card, which starts on Friday, August 28th. But this episode is about Major League Baseball, the Friday 28th of August Major League Baseball card. We start with one matinee game, then go through the rest of the card, all of the lines that are available as of 1:02 Central Time on the 28th of August already. Great. I can already count my 5 hours of sleep coming in, maybe. Also, we'll be doing plenty of podcasts the rest of the week. Hopefully do a full weekend preview for soccer stuff. Planning to still do MLB podcasts either night before or day of as we go through the weekend. And, of course, staying on track on the Betting Pitch Podcast Network. If you could send a 5-star review our way, that'd be huge. Comments are also big. You subscribe at @the_real_G Warner on YouTube, at @the_real_G Warner on Instagram, at @the_real_G Warner on X or Twitter, whatever you call it. And, of course, Betting the Pitch, Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. So let's get into it. My first look at the lines. I've made them a while ago. We'll see if any popped up while we're looking at it. We'll start with Rhett Lauder and the Cincinnati Reds on the road at the Chicago Cubs, coming off of a, I think, 9-3 deficit to come back and win 10-9. God loves the Giants, but doesn't treat them very well, it seems. Lauder plus 171 underdog on the road at Peterson. I think it's a sneaky fantasy baseball pickup if you're in the first round of the playoffs or trying to find your way in. He's been great, especially after coming over to the Cubs. Had a little rocky beginning, but it's been good since then. I don't know that I got much interest in the Reds here. That bullpen is questionable. The Cubs are really good, and I think these are two very different teams, even if they're not as far apart in the standings as they probably should be, though they're not exactly next to each other. Gonna have to mute myself because I'm about to sneeze. And we're back. If it's not yawns and sneezes, I guess. If you're here live with us, feel free to throw a comment in here. If I see it, I will respond to it. Appreciate those of you that come in, especially late night. We'll move next to a big homecoming for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Tarik Skubal, and where he was drafted, the Detroit Tigers, as far as I know. Traded this year because of his expiring contract. Well, he's back in the D, and it's not a good time for the Tigers. They just came off a series loss to the Rays, got swept this past weekend by the Royals, swept the last weekend when the White Sox at home, and what looked like a team that was rounding into form, about to take a surprising, after trading away so much, division lead. If they had swept at home against the White Sox, well, it went all wrong, and things are not getting better. Now they start Drew Anderson, and it's likely a lot of bullpen, which has been pretty bad this year. Plus 189 underdog at home to the Tigers are. To Skubal minus 211, over a $2 favorite on the road to Detroit. He certainly knows how to use that park, but they know him better than he knows himself probably at this point. Total is 7.5 minus 120 to the under here. First 5 is 4 minus 115. Now, I like under, but there's some big issues here, and that is A, the Detroit Tigers bullpen, B, Drew Anderson, C, the Tigers knowing well the starting pitcher that's going against them. But it's a big park. The Dodgers have not been playing very well. Defensively is usually not a problem for them. That's been an issue as of late, but really it's been scoring runs. So there might be more value in under. It certainly correlates to a play on the Tigers money line at plus 189. I'm not really as interested in playing a run line because you have to deal with the Dodgers getting a 9th at bat as their road team guaranteed. But certainly sillier plays have won. Let's move to the Miami Marlins and Yuri Perez visiting the Washington Nationals and Jay Kent, something like that. He's a big old boy, looks like a Pillsbury Doughboy, and I don't really like his chances. He's currently a plus 131 underdog at home to the Miami Marlins. Totals 8.5 minus 120. The Nats played a getaway day game in Washington, so we're fortunate they didn't have to go anywhere. The Marlins played the night before and were likely in Washington before the game even started, I suspect. Total here is 8.5 minus 120 to under, 4.5 minus 115. We saw very few runs scored in the series in Miami when these two teams played last weekend. I don't know that we see much of a change here. Yuri Perez should dominate the Nationals, who are really missing James Wood. C.J. Abrams, not anywhere near the RBI accumulator he was. They're not hitting as many home runs without Wood, and after trading their right-handed batter to the Red Sox, who then got hurt, starts with an M anyway, not Travis Mead. But I just don't really trust Kent at this point. Lean to under. Not sure I'm going to make it onto the card. Next, we'll go to the big rivalry that doesn't seem to be as filled anymore. The Boston Red Sox and Patrick Sandoval on the road at the New York Yankees and Cam Schlittler. The Red Sox off after playing a final game in Miami, traveled up to the Bronx while the Astros and Yankees were playing a night game. The demands of being a Yankee, I guess. They get to play early games on Saturdays, always it seems, but they're playing night games on getaway day. It's rarely a day game in the Bronx. Sandoval plus 142 underdog on the road, totals 8, minus 125 to under. We've seen no runs in Yankee Stadium so far this season, really ever since Aaron Judge went down. Total is 4, minus 124 to over, plus 104 to under. I don't blame people that want to play unders here. I just worry about Patrick Sandoval putting a lot of people on base. His whip has been enormous this season and not really getting punished for it just yet. But I got to say, the ERA, it's just screaming reversion to the mean, and I don't like that setup for a Yankee Stadium bandbox outing. The Kansas City Royals then visit the Cleveland Guardians. Michael Wacha on the road at Tanner Bybee after the 9-game winning streak was ended. They're plus 122 underdog on the road, minus 135 on Bybee. 8 is the total, minus 115 to under. First 5 is 4.5, minus 122. And I'm tempted by both the Royals money line and the under here. Bybee's been great. He doesn't get any run support. That's not usually a reason to back somebody or not back somebody, but it certainly doesn't hurt because Wacha should keep Cleveland pretty quiet. The Guardians have been playing really well, but they've been beating up on really bad teams. I don't know that it continues much longer. Angels, Rockies, all on the same road trip. That's about as much of a dream as you could have away from home. Next, go to the Houston Astros, Hunter Brown, the Diesel on the road, the New York Mets, and Christian Scott. Brown minus 123 favorite on the road, total 7.5, even money to under. And that is a big surprise for me. Total is 4.5, minus 123. I need to do some digging to see if Christian Scott is bumping up against an innings limit. Mets were not great in the Brewers series. Did take the opener, though, which was very important. And the Mets bullpen's kind of coming back to earth. It looked pretty bad even after the Brewers only got one pitch thrown at their starter. Dustin May took a line drive off of his back. Really tough break for an off-injured player. That's not really been his fault so far. From a Mets perspective, I don't really trust the bullpen, but it's been very good. I do like Christian Scott a lot. The Astros don't seem to be hitting as well. It's been pretty quiet for them a lot this season because they've been trimming payroll every chance they can. I'll lean under here and probably the home underdog as well because the Mets have been really, really frisky ever since they unloaded their entire team, it seemed. The San Diego Padres then start Casey Mize on the road to Tampa Bay Rays and Shane McClanahan. Mize a plus 116 underdog on the road. Total is 7.5, minus 116 to under. First 5 is a 4. Plus 105, minus 125 to over. And the big problem, question, all those sort of things is with the Padres and Casey Mize's sprained ankle. He kind of tripped or just rolled his ankle walking down the stairs after one of his innings in his last start. Came out, I think, pitched another inning, then tried to pitch the next one, and it was too sore for him to keep going. It's been a lot of leg problems, usually groin issues before the Tigers trade him to the Padres this season. I'm looking to be against him as much as I can, though I think we see a low-scoring game. And even if we go into that Padres bullpen early, they can certainly get outs, even without Jeremiah Estrada recently on the IL. I think Shane McClanahan, before I move on, I think he should be up to at least a 70% workload at this point. He's not been pushed this year, but I think he's probably on track to throw 5 innings if it goes well against the Padres. Next, go to the Colorado Rockies and Takasuya Sugano on the road at the Atlanta Braves and Grant Holmes. Sugano, a plus 201 underdog, enormous. Totals 8.5, plus 108 to under, minus 128 to over. I'll lean over there. Don't really love the Braves lineup so far, but the Rockies pitching staff, woof. Next, go to the Texas Rangers and Cody Bradford on the road, the Milwaukee Brewers and Logan Henderson. Bradford plus 156 underdog, total 7.5, even money to under here. I don't know that I want to play unders with the Brewers. They just put too much pressure on you. The price is too big on the home favorite. This is a big series for the Rangers, trying to at least not get swept. Next, we go to the Chicago White Sox and Luis Castillo, plus 104 underdog on the road at the Minnesota Twins and Dean Kramer, who are trying to stay in the race. Total is 9, minus 110 both ways. And I don't trust Castillo. I don't really trust Kramer. I feel like the Twins are the side I want here. I feel like minus 115 is a little expensive, though, for what I was desiring. Next, go to the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jared Jones on the road to St. Louis Cardinals and Quinn Matthews. The Cardinals played a day game on Thursday. I don't think the Pirates did, as they were playing in San Diego on Wednesday. Jones minus 117, road favorite, total 7, plus 105 to under. I think that really reflects the Pirates games being so low scoring in San Diego, though they did a great job winning a series in San Diego. That kind of gives them a little bit of hope, while the Cardinals lost 5 in a row, finally salvaged the getaway day game against the Orioles. I don't trust Quinn Matthews. I don't think he's got a good enough arm. Maybe he's a crafty lefty. The Pirates haven't seen him, but they hit fastballs well. I don't know that he's got a lot else. Last game on the list, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim are hosting the Philadelphia Phillies, who continue to try to keep it on. Detmers, Reed Detmers, plus 121 home underdog. Andrew Painter, minus 133. Total is 8, minus 104 to the under, minus 116 to over. Total is even money at 4 for the first 5. Painter's been better. Detmers has been great getting swing and miss, and that's important. It's been what he's done in his career, even though the Angels foolishly put him in the bullpen in the setup role last year, but they've had losing seasons 11 straight years, and they deserve it because they're idiots. I think at this point, under's the only way I could lean. Don't really want to play the Angels against a Phillies team that somehow scored 6 runs, I think, in 2 innings against the Mariners and held on for an under 7 as a best bet winner for us the other day. Kudos to them. Appreciate that. We'll take all of those we can get. And that does it for all the games this Major League Baseball card for Friday, August 28th. Hopefully a brief episode, 11 minutes, but we went through a lot of games. Hopefully it gave you some insight where these lines will potentially move and some best bet winners. And at least one will be coming. We've had a good run lately trying to keep that streak alive. Before I get there, I want to plug, already mentioned the German Bundesliga preview episode, which should be out on the channel, wherever you get it, Betting the Pitch, Apple Podcast, and on Spotify, at @TheReal_G Warner on YouTube and on Instagram. But also have NFL podcast coming out, and of course a weekend preview for Saturday and Sunday and Monday, most likely across the soccer landscape. But for our best bet in this episode, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheReal_G Warner, of course, or X if you call it that, and check out patreon.com/TheReal_G Warner, the best spot to get all my plays, leans, write-ups across all sports. Get everything you could ever want. Download the application, turn on notifications, you get a buzz every time I lock something in. For our best bet on this episode, let's go with those Tampa Bay Rays. They are a short home favorite, minus 128. I just don't trust the health of Casey Mize. The Rays are incredible at home. It's not been as easy for them to win there lately, but I think this is a good setup for them. Pretty cheap for Shane McClanahan right now, especially with health issues on the Padres side. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode coming tomorrow.